Hey guys, I missed you. Really? It's been like 10 days since the last Yu-Gi-Oh video and 20 days since the last Duel video. Like as I said in the last Yu-Gi-Oh video that I did 10 days ago in the Duel vlog, I've had some browser issues. They've happened before, like last year somewhere. Um, the browser just randomly goes to this different site. Back then, I had like 4 or 5 days with problems. Then it just disappeared. Never had the problem again. Came back like the day before I made that dual vlog. That day I actually didn't have much problems until the evening. Then it came back. Got problems again the next day. And after that, it was just gone again. And I haven't had problems since. So I'm back, I guess. And I decided what better way to do it than with the deck request. Now this is a deck request made by two people, so I guess it's the second double deck request, although it's a little different. By the Yellow Flash, my buddy Ben wanted me to make a Chaos Blue Eyes deck. And ETHE Best, or ETHE Best, wanted me to make a Blue Eyes deck. The second request that I named, the Blue Eyes deck, that one comes after Ben's Chaos Blue Eyes deck. And since Chaos Blue Eyes deck already is a Blue Eyes deck, then why did I accept the other one? Well, Ben actually made a deck request, so I put him on the list, but he never made it clear what deck it was. So when I reached the point of his deck request, I still didn't have anything from him. So I just continued writing stuff down, and, well, I got the other Blue Eyes deck request, then I didn't have that yet. So then Ben... Finally, yesterday, I was able to get him to actually give me a deck request. That was quite funny. And he wanted me to make a Chaos Blue Eyes deck. And I'm like, okay, I already have a Blue Eyes one, but Chaos Blue Eyes... I was actually planning to make a deck, a Blue Eyes deck with mostly the cards from the structure deck, actually, and some cards around that to make use of that new kind of mechanic. I felt like doing that. But Ben wanted me to make a Chaos Blue Eyes deck, so I'm like, okay, I'll just combine the two into one. So, Ben and ETHE Best for your Blue Eyes deck. Here it is, Chaos Blue Eyes. It's pretty much Chaos Dragons with some Blue Eyes stuff thrown in there. And my opponent is using Hieratics, also with Blue Eyes, and with Maiden. And I use them as well. So, alright, let's see what I want to do here. When I was using Rika, I was like, okay, mill a dark. I even milled two. So, Dark Flare and Tragedia. I summoned Chaos Sorcerer here. I banished Dark Flare instead of Tragedia because I was like, what can I really do with it? I was still thinking in my head Monster Reborn, even though it's been forbidden for like almost 2 months. Because usually then I'd banish the monster that is least useful to the opponent when would be Monster Reborn. And I felt that Tragedia with like Xyz options would be the most dangerous, because you can just copy the level 6 of a monster in the grave. But yeah, I should have banished Tragedia because the option of having red as Darkness Metal Dragon would be able to summon Dark Flare, can't summon Tragedia. Right, so I summon Eclipse Wyvern, normal summon it to get its effect maybe later. I didn't really see myself sending it to the grave any different way. Destroy the 0 defense Blue Eyes, use Chaos Sorcerer to attack into Sue. I could have just used its effects to banish Sue, to like get rid of it in the graveyard and don't run the risk of him using Honest. However, if he has Honest, then I prefer him using it now, because he'll bring out more Blue Eyes Maidens, more Hieratics later on, and he'll then be able to use Honest. At one point he's going to be able to use it, and I prefer he use it now, where it's still somewhat of a controlled environment. I still have Dark Hole and Honest myself to like make a counter attack. So I prefer if he'd use Honest now. He didn't use it, very likely did not have it. Use a Silver Scry, another card that I have, so I'm like, interesting duel, alright. Into Blue Eyes, I'm like, attack Eclipse Wyvern so I can Honest or just get the effect, but obviously he's going into Chaos Sorcerer, because otherwise I can just banish the Blue Eyes next turn. So Chaos Sorcerer down, and that also means that I still can't do any Chaos summoning, because I have 2 Darks in the grave, so I'm like, okay, Light Pulsar, Chaos Summon, don't have a Light in the grave. Blue Eyes is still the strongest on the field, even Light Pulsar can't get past him. Then I got the idea, I have Dark Hole. Use Dark Hole, Eclipse Wyvern to grave, which makes me able to use Light Pulsar. That's the first thing that came to mind. But then I thought, wait, Light Pulsar goes, Eclipse goes to grave. Effect banishes Red as Darkness Metal. When I then banish Eclipse Wyvern to summon Light Pulsar, I get Darkness Metal directly to my hand. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. I technically could have also gone for Darkflight Dragon, but I right now only have 2 Darks in the grave. When summoning Light Pulsar, I only have 1, and I don't have any other Darks in my hand, so I didn't see myself summoning Dark Armed anytime soon. So I do that. Red Darkest Metal goes to my hand. I decide not to summon it just yet. I technically could do that, because then I'd have like 300 extra attack, and I could then summon Blue Eyes White Dragon, but I do tend to play somewhat conservatively. I don't play full aggressive. So I just decided to do that. Like, if he has Mirror Force or Dimensional Prison, then would I have summoned Red Eyes and then even Blue Eyes after that with its effect, then that could just give me almost no options for the rest of the duel. Would he have had something like Mirror Force? Here he plays Maiden with Eyes of Blue, and when it's targeted for an attack, the attack can be negated, Maiden switches battle position, and a Blue Eyes can be summoned. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do there? I do want to beat it. The effect can only be used once. 1 Maiden effect per turn per player. So, okay, what am I going to do? I was looking at synchro options, like I can summon Azure Eyes, I can use Honest for things. How am I going to do this? I can summon multiple monsters, that was for sure. This first attack goes into Maiden, will be negated, Blue Eyes comes out. None of my monsters can be Blue Eyes, the only ones that can are light monsters using Honest. So I'm like, okay, gonna do that. Summon Red Eyes, use its effect to summon Blue Eyes, attack with Red Eyes into Maiden, Maiden will use the effect, summons Blue Eyes, attack Blue Eyes into Blue Eyes, drop Honest in substep 3 of damage step, so that would the opponent chain Honest, my Honest will still win. And that way I deal a lot of damage, and then I still have my Maiden and Silver Sky after that. Now, of course, I technically could have summoned my own Maiden and attacked his Maiden, but if the attack would have been negated, I guess I would have still had a free attack with Red Darkest Metal. However, the opponent wouldn't have had to negate it, because if 0 attack monsters attack into each other, they're not destroyed. Normally, if 2 attack position monsters of the same attack each other, they're both destroyed, unless they're both at 0 attack, so that trick wouldn't have worked with Maiden. So I attack Blue Eyes into Blue Eyes, different artworks. I quite like that new artwork, but I prefer the one that I use. Drop Honest, third step, just for damage calculation. So that's 3,000 attack power boost to my Blue Eyes, so the difference is 3,000. Brings the opponent down to only 2,400 life points, so doing pretty good there. Now, in main phase 2, I decided to normal summon Maiden with Eyes of Blue, and then synchro into Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, which is actually Azure Eyes' debut by me, because I don't think I've ever actually summoned it. Because I thought, you know, if it survives for one turn, I can just get Blue Eyes back next turn. And even if not, Red Darkest Metal can just summon it. And Azure Eyes protects my monster from things like Dark Hole, which was what I was most afraid of here. So Azure Eyes comes out, protects my monsters. Would it survive until next turn, I can just summon Blue Eyes back. And I even have Silver Scry. So let's say he would have been able to somehow get rid of Azure Eyes. I could have set Silver Scry to summon Blue Eyes during the opponent's turn. But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take the risk that he has something like Mystical Space Typhoon to take out Silver Scry. I'm just going to keep it in my hand, because it's very likely that I'll still have either Red Eyes or Azure Eyes, or even both, to summon the Blue Eyes next turn. And then Silver Scry for after that. Okay, so Maiden is switched back into attack mode, so that would, after it switching its battle position, then it would be attacked again, then it wouldn't take any damage. So I'm like, okay, what do I do here? Summon Blue Eyes, let's do some calculations. 1 attack will be negated, I'll use the weakest for that, is Azure Eyes, then Red Eyes Darkest Metal can beat Maiden, Blue Eyes into Blue Eyes, that's done. Then opponent won't have any monsters, but will still have his 2,400 life points. I could normal summon Rico and attack into Maiden. Could have done that, but I wanted to keep Rico just in case he was able to negate the attack, something like that, so I'd be able to place Rico in defense, do something for next turn. But I still had Silver Scry in my hand, and I remembered that, wait, if I Kamikaze Blue Eyes into Blue Eyes, then my Blue Eyes will be in the grave, then I can just play Silver Scry after that, summon Blue Eyes back so it gets to attack again. That was the plan. And it works. Blue Eyes into Blue Eyes, mine goes, Red Eyes destroys Maiden, Blue Eyes comes back with Silver Scry. I'm able to finish my opponent off. Zombie737, thank you for the duel. I will be seeing you guys shortly in the deck profile. I'm happy we're back into the duel videos. Good amount of decks are ready. Let's do this. See you in a bit. Welcome to the deck profile for the Blue Eyes Chaos deck, a deck request made by the Yellow Flash, my buddy Ben, and there was also a Blue Eyes deck request by ETHE Best. So this for the two of you, my Blue Eyes Chaos deck profile. It's pretty much Chaos Dragons with a few twists, because Blue Eyes is in there. Right now, as I do mostly with my deck requests, you should probably know this by now if you've been around for quite some time. Most of my decks, I make them for single duel, so I don't really pay too much attention to the side deck. The side deck usually includes cards that I still considered in the deck that you could use if it's like more of a personal preference for you, or well, some other options. But we'll get to the side deck when we get to it. We have two Blue Eyes White Dragons because I felt that three was too much, and I definitely wanted more than one in there. So two Blue Eyes, a BLS because you're running Chaos. So why are you not running BLS? It's a really good card. Card Troop was one of the engines of the deck. Chaos Sorcerer has an extra Chaos monster to be summoned with Chaos stuff. Darkon Dragon, you're running quite a few Darks. Darkon Dragon is a really good card, so why don't you use it if you run Darks? Dark Flare Dragon, one of the Chaos Summoners. It's a dragon, so can be summoned via Red as Darkness Metal. Eclipse Wyvern, only one. Some people like to have it more. I've had really good experiences with Eclipse Wyvern, like in the duel that you watched just now. And I've also had really bad experience with it, where it's just really cloggy, or it just doesn't work, and I can't get the effect off properly. So I tested with one, and I'm personally fine with one in this deck. Gores is a hand trap, just like with Tragodia. They're also dark, so that helps. There's quite a few lights in there, so honest. Light Pulsar Dragon is the main Chaos monster. 3 Maiden with Eyes of Blue. There's 3 Maidens, but only 2 Blue Eyes. And even with 1 Maiden, you may actually be able to summon multiple Blue Eyes if you like the opponent attacks into it or something. I personally feel 2 Blue Eyes is enough because your Maiden, you quite a few times you'll use it as a tuner for this deck, to get some of these synchros out over here. So I feel that's good. 2 more tuners and Plague Spreader Zombie. Quite a few times you'll use Dark Flare Dragon and Plague Spreader to make Black Rose, because Black Rose is still one of the best level 7 synchros out there. Plague Spreader works, and it's a dark. Red as Darkness Metal Dragon, just really good. Once again, I'm still wondering why it was kept at unlimited for so long, until the Hieratics came out and you had the Hieratic loop that would be able to be an OTK. Then Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon was limited because you needed at least 2 for the OTK, and it was quite the consistent one. I feel it should definitely stay at limited. I don't think it should be forbidden. It should stay at limited, but it's still a really good card. Rico is one of the other engines, just like Card Trooper, to get stuff in the grave, and it also destroys something, and it's a light, so that works very well. Spirit Reaper is kind of as an extra dark, can stall when you feel that you need the time, and very rarely, but sometimes you will be able to get the discard effect off. May work. 2 Tour Guides to get some nice exegesis in, because you do banish some cards sometimes, so then you can get them back with Levier. 2 Wingbeat of Giant Dragon. Heavy Storm is gone, so you have to look for our alternatives, because people thought, oh, Heavy Storm is gone, the traps are gone, people are not going to be able to set too much monsters, too many. Yeah, they still do. So against decks that play traps and like quick play spells and everything, like set a lot of cards. Wingbeat, there's quite a lot of level 5 and higher dragon types. You have Blue Eyes, you have the Light Pulsars, you have the Dark Flares, you have the Red Ice Darkness Metal, you have Dark Armed. There's quite a few monsters that can be used with Wingbeat. Allure of Darkness for draw power, Burst Stream of Destruction. It's pretty much a Raigeki, which is obviously forbidden. but you need a Blue Eyes White Dragon face up on the field to use it. Only have one copy, it can be a dead draw, but quite often, quite quickly, you can get Blue Eyes out usually. So one copy, Blue Eyes can't attack that turn, doesn't really matter. But Burst Stream can really be good because people almost never expect it. So I have one copy of that to charge the Light Brigade to add Rico to my hand, which is nice. But the 3 meal cards, I guess that's really what I'm doing it for. But Rico can then mill more, so charge the Light Brigade is in there. Darkhold to destroy stuff. Dragon Shrine works well in the deck because you can just send one of the Blue Eyes to the grave, and then another Dragon, Light Pulsar, Dark Flare, Eclipse Wyvern, whatever you want there. And this is then one of the options to get Blue Eyes into the grave, so you can then revive it again with Silver Scry. 2 Silver Scry, the only targets for it are the Blue Eyes Eye Dragons. So in that sense, if you draw the Silver Scry and you don't draw into Blue Eyes, okay, can be dead draw, but there's a good amount of ways to get it in the grave, like Rico, like Card Trooper, like Dragon Shrine. 2 Wander Wands to work with Maiden. To equip Wander Wand to Maiden, you target Maiden, which then triggers its effect to summon Blue Eyes, and then you could just send Wonder Wand and Maiden to the grave to draw 2 more cards, and you have a free Blue Eyes on the field. Then the side deck, I usually do the extra deck first, but I want to go through the side deck before I do that. This is mostly options I've thought about, a few actual side deck cards. An extra Blue Eyes White Dragon if I felt that it was necessary, a card D, been considering it, don't really feel too good with it. A 3rd Dark Flare, would you wish to do it, but I have quite a lot of Chaos Mons, 3 Light Pulsars, 2 Dark Flares, Chaos Sorcerer, and BLS. That's 7 Chaos Monsters already. I feel fine with that. A Lila, would you want to do it? Chaos Dragons quite often use Lila. I decided not to use it to make place for the Blue Eyes things. Grand Mole, just as an annoying card that you could put in the deck. Doesn't work with the Chaos because it's Earth, not Light or Dark. Rainbow, Overlord of Dark World. This is actually an actual side deck card for the Dark World matchup, because in the testing phases I've noticed that Dark World quite often beats this deck. I don't know if I haven't really figured out what really the weakness this deck has against Dark Worlds, because if they use like Dark World Dealings or things like that, you can actually send stuff to the grave to help with Chaos. But I've lost most of the time to Dark World, so Rainbow is in there to be discarded from the hand to grave. If it's discarded from hand to grave by an opponent's card effect, like Dark World Dealings, special summon it from the grave. And when I special summon this way, all monsters on the opponent's side of the field are destroyed, or all spell and trap stack control are destroyed. So that can be a very powerful card. You can tribute summon it. It costs 2 tributes, but if you're playing against Dark Worlds, this can be quite a deadly one, and it's a level 7, so I guess that can be used with Maiden to make like Crimson Blader or something. And a 3rd Wingbeat, would you feel you need a 3rd one? A 2nd Dragon Shrine, a 3rd Silver Scry. Hand Destruction, because this deck is not the fastest, it's not very slow either, but if you're playing against like really fast decks, then compared to that deck, this deck might get quite cloggy, so then maybe 1 Hand Destruction to get up to speed. 1 Dragon's Mirror, because you can get quite a few dragons in the grave, but quite a few monsters also aren't dragon, like Card Trooper, like Sorcerer, like Light Pulsar is actually one. Rico, Spirit Reaper, Tour Guide, Tragodia, so I don't really think I'll be using Dragon's Mirror much. I use it with 5-headed dragon. Probably I'll take 5-headed dragon out, because I don't side in Dragon's Mirror ever. Malevolent Catastrophe is sort of another Heavy Storm replacement. And then 2 Royal Decrees. I don't run any traps, and traps can, well, good traps can definitely kill this deck, so 2 Royal Decrees to stop those. Now, I forgot to tell this earlier, I could put 6th Sense in this deck, but this deck has been in progress since before 6th Sense got into the TCG. And before that it was just forbidden, so I never thought about it. So you could definitely put it in this deck to get extra cards in your hand, or to put cards in the grave to be used for Chaos. 6th Sense could definitely work, so you can consider that as well. Now the extra deck, I do have 5-headed dragon. I probably am not going to use it, so I'm just going to dump it. Originally I did not have Ally of Just Catastrophe in there, because I don't often synchro into level 5. If I do, that would be like Card Trooper, Plague Spreader, or equipped Eclipse Maiden. That's really all. So, and I do synchro quite a few times, and I just find Hyperlibrarian a bit more useful in that sense than Catastor to get those extra draws more than the destruction power of Catastor, because there's still quite a lot of trap cards that the opponent can have to get rid of Catastor. They're both dark, so in that sense, Hyperlibrarian is not a bad choice. The new Synchro Psychemuth. I have Black Rose, I have 2 level 8s, Scrap Dragon, Crimson Blader, Azure Silver Dragon. Then for the Xyz, Zen mains, Leviathan and Levier. Zen mains and Leviathan as his basic rank 3s, and Levier to use with the Chaos monsters that I banish. So you can summon some of the Mac. Eclipse and Card Trooper are usually the ones you do most. Utopia. Don't often go into fours. I put it in there because I felt like it was a good idea, but now that I look at my deck, I realize that the only level 4 I have is Eclipse Wyvern, so why did I even... Oh, and Honest. But why would I Xyz with Honest if I have Eclipse Wyvern? Then I just attack into it with Eclipse Wyvern and drop Honest. Maybe with Lila? I should probably drop Utopia, now that I think about it. I don't know why it's in there. Volcasaurus, if you have like Dark Flares, things like that out. Or Adreus, that's my rank 5s that I decided to go with. Gauntlet Launcher, good rank 6, can destroy monsters if you have Light Pulsars out. And would you have multiple Blue Eyes or a BLS on the field or one of your Synchros, you could go into Heliopolis to destroy stuff. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it works really well. You just need that destruction and you can make game. That's what Heliopolis is for. Now, this was the deck request video. I hope you enjoyed. Ben and also ETHE Best, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. Try it out. Tell me what your personal preferences are, if you prefer certain decks over other decks. Certain cards over other cards that I put in the deck. Let me know what you think. And also, this is not the end of the video. I just want to point something out regarding TG Hyperlibrarian. Not necessarily the card, but there has been this admin. He's been senior admin for quite some time as well. He used Hyperlibrarian for pretty much all this time. It was, I believe, 2 weeks ago that he posted something in the admin part of the forums. I won't state any details there because he wanted it to be the admin part of the forum, so I won't give any details to anyone else. But he decided to leave Dueling at work. I'm like, okay. He gave his reasons. He had good reasons, so I'm not gonna say anything else about that. But recently we got news, and you will be able to actually see this sort of on the new main screen, because we've had the same opening screen with BLS and the same intro song for quite some time now. It was Teardrop by Bull. It's changed now. We now have Hyperlibrarian on there and a different song. In respect of our ex-admin, because it's unfortunate news, but he passed away. Unfortunately. I did not know of this like when it happened. I only found out like the day after, and I was like, what is this? Is this a joke? I honestly thought it was a joke, but just in case it wasn't, I didn't really ask anyone specific about it. But I went into some parts of the forums and I realized that it was true, so you will definitely be missed. We didn't get to talk very much, but you were highly respected among admins, and we're gonna miss you. Alright guys, sorry to end this duel with a sad note, but I did feel that I should definitely pay my respects to our ex-admin, even though I didn't get to speak to him much, but he was a well-respected admin. Was there for like almost since DN was created, even, so he's been there. He's been on DN for a long time, and he'll be missed. Thank you for the duel. Thank you for watching the video. I'm gonna see you later.